Chris Waller, 2 days out from the Golden Slipper, Woden's preparation, how would you describe it, and your level of confidence going into Saturday's big race?
The preparation's exactly what we set out to do, have 3 runs before the Golden Slipper. Ideally he would have won his last start, but it wasn't quite the case. But the reason for the 3 runs is to learn as much as you can and prepare the horses for the grand final, which is the TAB Golden Slipper. So I'm happy with the prep. Confidence levels are therefore high from the preparation perspective. We know how good he is, we've just got to get him to do it in the grand final. I think the addition of the cheek pieces, which is just a simple piece of sheepskin on the side of his face, just to keep him focused on what's going on in front and riding him a little bit more conservative. Obviously it's a sprint race, but we still feel that he's got more to offer by being held up and ensuring he has that lethal finish over the last 200 or 300 metres. On the training tracks, he's very, very sharp, exciting. So we just need to replicate that on race day, and the grand finals when it needs to happen.
And he doesn't train in winkers, Chris?
He does train in them, but we're also keeping them off until race day. So he's worn them 3 or 4 times. We purposely left them off this morning. We want to put them on race day so that we can have full effect of them. So yeah, he's well used to them. Today we didn't want to light him right up. He's only coming up the straight at a nice even tempo, 2 days out from the grand final. So had we put them on, we might have seen fireworks.
A horse ignorant person asking this question, are you calling him Woden or Wadton?
I've been told Woden.
Okay.
Wadton. I've been told a few.
Yeah.
No, Wadton.
We'll go with that, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been told, Wonton with a D, so
Okay.
Wadton.
What you just said, Chris, barrier 2 is better than barrier 16, but any concerns with the colt out of 2, given that you do want to ride him conservatively?
The only concern of barrier 2 is getting out. If you've got enough speed, you'll get out. So I think he's got enough speed. Barrier 2 conserves energy. Barrier 2 means you're in your comfort zone. Wider barriers have to do a lot of work. They've got to cover extra ground. So there's certainly a lot of positives with barrier 2.
You've won a Golden Slipper with Shinzo, you've had a number of runners over the years, but a lot of the talk this year is that this is the most even Golden Slipper in recent memory. What's your view of the field?
That's how I see it. It's grand final day, it's whatever's peaking on the day. And you could say similar for other years. It's not always a race won by favourites. It's a race won by horses peaking on the day. So, yeah, my take is respect all the other runners. Luck and running will play a big part. Good riders, some of the best riders in the world are here. And it's the richest 2-year-old race in the world. So it's a great scene.
Are you surprised the colt is still favourite, given he's lost his 2 lead-up runs?
I haven't looked too much into form, but that's obviously the respect that the general public have for him, and we play a lot of importance to that. So that's good to see that he's equal or right up there in favouritism, because the general public are good judges.
Who do you rate as your biggest threats?
No real concern about any of the horses. It's just fully focused about our horse. I guess, yeah, we will have a look at other horses' idiosyncrasies, where their weaks and strengths are, and sure, we're aware of the other runners, but at this stage, obviously the betting has us and tempted at the top, but honestly, it's all about peaking for grand finals.
In layman's terms, Chris, why is the Golden Slipper the most influential horse race in Australia?
Probably puts $200 million into the bloodstock economy. So you're talking a winner, if it's a colt, $30 to $60 million. His brothers and sisters worth a lot more money. His mother's worth a lot more money in her relations. Second, third, it's all relative, as are the lead-up races. So how do you quantify a Golden Slipper? Well, it probably puts $1 billion into the horse economy over the space of 3 months leading into the race. It's talked about for such a long period of time. The pattern changes every week with every lead-up race. It's an iconic race in Australia, and it's part of history of our breeding industry as well.
You spoke about how even this race is, and it's all about the 2 peaks on the day. Being just a 2-year-old, is it hard to know is there going to peak, or to know what leads up to a good day?
It is very hard to know what's going to peak on the day and when a horse matures. They're no different to people. So I guess in terms of 2-year-old terms, it's probably a race for 18 to 20-year-olds in human terms. You've got some really masculine males and females that will be better at that younger age with bigger muscle capacity, strength, power. That's the type of horse that can win a Golden Slipper. But that can change as a 3-year-old. So when you're talking in terms of humans again, once they get to 21 plus, you see a different type of athlete starting to take over. So that's the beauty of the Golden Slipper. And their 2-year-old year is even a long period of time in terms of a horse's year, maturity and development. So it's a hard one to pick, but the Golden Slipper is normally won by the best and most mature 2-year-old in the world.
Gun colt, gun jockey, gun trainer, gun barrier. Can you muck this up? Is that as good a preparation as you can get?
It's as good as preparation as we can put on the table for sure. And my team behind me make me good, so I'll thank my team for that. But yeah, James McDonald's great. We've got a very good colt. We've got full confidence in him, and as I said, the preparation's gone as we set it out. So that's all we can do.
Via Sistina, I beg your pardon. Win another Randwick. Where she sit?
She sits right up there. Her Cox Plate win by the margin that she won by, and she broke the track record, puts her among some of the greats. So it's now the only difference between the all-time champions and Via Sistina is longevity. We've got Via Sistina at the end of her career. She's 7. That'll be the only difference. Australia won't see her for the length of the time that she's seen other champions. But gee, she's a very good mare.
Chris, she made her Australian debut in the Randwick last year. Can you just talk about the 12 months that she's had, and can you believe the 12 months that she's had, I guess?
You can't really believe what she's done in 12 months. And yeah, this day, 2 days before the big Golden Slipper day in the Randwick, she was just another horse in our minds. I remember talking to Ryan Moore, who was riding in the race against Via Sistina on Golden Slipper day, and he said, well, you've got a good horse there. If you can get the best out of her, she'll be a good horse. And 5 minutes later, she cruised up in a Group 1 Randwick, and we thought, wow, what have we got here? And the next 12 months has just been surreal. She's just kept improving. She's appreciating Australia. All horses handle different scenes and different countries differently. So she's really settled into Australia. She's found her niche, which is 1,600 to 2,000 metre races, and it's great for the racing public to be able to see her bring that international form and possibly improved on it.
Can you tell us much about Full Count Felicia, Chris?
Well, she's a multiple Group 1 winning mare, Full Count Felicia, from Canada. I've spoken to her trainer. He speaks very highly about her. She's got a very good racing pattern, which is on speed, or she can take a sit. She's the pride of Jenny when she won a big Group 1 race over in America and Canada. Some of her races have been quite remarkable, but as I said, she can take a sit as well. So a very versatile horse, and she's very fit. She's had exactly the same preparation that Via Sistina had coming into the Randwick, so she's fit, she's well prepared, and she'll bring international form to Rosehill on Saturday.
What about Fangirl? She's been a stable favourite for many seasons. She missed the rider last year, unfortunately through injury, but she seems to be going as well as ever. Yeah,
Courtney Vanderwerf is her regular track rider. She rode her this morning, and her exact words were that she's flying. So that's great to hear from a very good judge, and that's how we see Fangirl. She missed her opportunity last year in the George Ryder through injury, and the team have done a fantastic job to have her back this year. So 2 years ago, she was narrowly beaten by Animo, the Australian Horse of the Year. So she gets her chance on Saturday. Drawn a little bit awkward, but we've got James McDonald aboard, and yeah, she's ready to run an almighty race.
In one of the support races, we finally get to see Autumn Glow again this year. She's been out for a while, but how is she coming up for the Derby Munro Stakes?
Yeah, Autumn Glow's had a great preparation. She could have been ready to race 3 weeks ago. We chose not or we resisted the temptation to run her against the Group 1 horses first up over 1400 metres. Instead, we've given her a bit of extra work, an extra trial, and resuming over 1200 metres in a slightly easier race. So it's a perfect starting point. She'll still have to be at her best to win, but in our eyes she looks like she's come back very well and likely to improve this preparation.
Buckaroo returns in the George Ryder on Saturday. Going back to his spring campaign, how do you reflect on that, and how's he coming up this time?
The spring preparation for Buckaroo was amazing. He went from strength to strength, winning Group 1 races, running very creditably in a Melbourne Cup. He's done an amazing job. He's come back just as well, if not better. He's moving better than he was this time last year when he was narrowly beaten by Via Sistina in a Ranvet on this day. So he's first up in a George Ryder. The George Ryder field this year I think is exceptional. It's got some great speed horses there, as well as the milers and horses like Buckaroo, Kovalika, who are resuming. So I doubt he can win first up, but he's a high credentialed horse. He's ready to peak through the carnival, hopefully in a Queen Elizabeth in 3 weeks' time.
Via Sistina's up to 2000 for the first time on Saturday. What have you made of her 2 runs, and how is she going into Saturday?
Yeah, Via Sistina's 2 runs this preparation have been very good. 1400 metres first up. Mathematically it was a little bit hard to win, and her dominant win over the mile last start was very good. The best part of her race was the last 100 metres of the race, and getting to 2,000 metres is certainly a big positive for her. And we find when she gets to 2,000 metres, that's when she runs her best races. Not always her first one. She beat Buckaroo narrowly in her first 2,000 metre race in the spring. Second 2,000 metre race she was dominant in the Cox Plate, and then won the Champion Stakes after that.